recording and officially begin the workshop. Hello, my name is Kevin Axtell, and I bid you welcome to this discussion / workshop on the modern art of two-club spinning. I invite you to grab two clubs. I'll try not to burn myself out with the lighting in here. Grab two clubs, stand, stretch out, move around if you like. We'll start with some talking, but we'll quickly get into a vast exploration of the whole world of two-club spinning. First and foremost, this workshop is divided into three major parts. It is divided into the past of club spinning, the present of club spinning, what's going on in club spinning now and for the past several years, and then we have the future of club spinning, the postmodern styles, the eclectic variations, the different ways that this is evolving. So, just double checking my levels are good. Volume, Jerry's helping me with the lighting. Thank you. Is that better? Yep. Oh, we got some love for the two club juggling in the chat. Thank you. Okay. The modern art of two club spinning. How can we know where we are in the present without discussing a little bit about the past? So we're going to cover first this idea that club spinning has a long history. And club spinning as we know it originated in India through the art of the Indian swinging club. I actually have a few in my collection, but I'm just going to use regular clubs. But these original clubs were wood. Jared, stop switching around. These original clubs were wood heavy, and the act of swinging them and spinning them was primarily focused on, health, wellness, fitness, exercise. Club spinning has its origins in a yoga-esque focus, meditative, and exercise activity designed to build strength, agility, flexibility, and improve circulation or improve wellness in general. By using centrifugal force and external momentum, it draws blood to the extremity and helps improve circulation. And so these big heavy wood clubs were swung around in ways. It approached, or it had elements of martial arts to it, but it was primarily an exercise, a health and well-being activity. There was a little bit of trance-inducing qualities, but people would gather in large groups and do this. When Britain colonized India, the sport and the exercise of club swinging then came to the West, you could say. And it actually became very popular. Club swinging had a heyday where it transcended just juggling and manipulation, and the public at large in the early century, first through Britain and Europe, and then even on to America, club swinging was a popular activity. There are old-timey clips and posts of large groups of up to 100 people club swinging and doing it for, again, exercise and wellness. It was also a part of the British military training for a time. In the early 1900s, club swinging itself for 2 Olympics was an Olympic category. And to this day, it remains one of the few types of modern juggling to be in the Olympics, found in the art form of rhythmic gymnastics. They have a specialty modified club that they spin and toss and do some rather impressive tricks with. So club spinning came to the West first as an exercise, as an activity. It gained in popularity, but then started to decline after the 1950s. The moves that came from this, and that kind of, I learned credit to Alan Jacobs. If you're an IJA member, there's an Alan Jacobs club swinging tutorial, old DVD video that you can access. Very valuable, insightful information. So in the past, as it came to the West and other parts of the world, and people started to take it beyond just the physical activity into something fun or aesthetically pleasing, the moves largely incorporated in club swinging in the past include these, of course, these shoulder rolls and these wheels, shoulder rolls and what we now call extensions, right? Very, very classic, iconic club swinging from the past, traditional, the style is called traditional. We also have these reels. Reels up here, reels down here, and they're spinning at the sides here. Reels, hip reels, shoulder reels, turns with reels, turning and reels. Also traditional club swinging style, both forward and reverse. Then of course the weaves. The weaves, the 3-beat weaves. You have your fancy weaves too, but not in traditional club swinging. In traditional club swinging, we weren't doing the 6-beat weave with the extra beats. No, we were doing the basic weaves, the half weave, and became very popular, at least in the early juggling circles, the fountain, or weaving in forward, transitioning to reverse, and then going up and above, creating a spinning wheel of a spinning wheel. So we had the weaves. Also, starting to come out of traditional club swinging, and I remember from my early years at the IJA, the club snake, a technique where the club is brought in, twisted and turned and released out. There's a variety of club snakes based on whether it goes to the outside of the arm or the inside of the arm. How many turns you do, how many rotations, and when you pop out is really up to the user. There are reverse club snakes and there are forward club snakes, and all kinds of combinations of doing them in tandem with each other. So even though it feels like a cool hip move, the snakes themselves come from traditional club swinging. And I first was introduced to club swinging through the IJA, the International Jugglers Association, the group in which Alan Jacobs was very influential. He was a major contributor to the event and the organization, and he taught a lot of these club swinging workshops. So in the old days, everyone at the IJA was doing all of these traditional club swinging moves, and I liked the look of it. Even when I was more of a toss juggler and less of a spinner, I've always found club swinging to be fun. And its origins are in exercise, fitness, agility, dexterity. These are all things that club spinning, club swinging, it develops these skills. So if you are a juggler and you like to toss, juggle, and manipulate objects, the practice of club spinning is not only healthy, but extremely beneficial to your long-term health and success with your juggling. So I highly recommend you look into it, you play with it. So that was the past. Area 1, what we call traditional club swinging. Now, just because it's older doesn't mean it's bad. Definitely not. These are some quality fundamentals everyone should learn. Now we're going to transition to what I would call the present, or the current state of club swinging in the world. And so that starts, for me, and everyone's going to have different opinions here, that starts with the fire spinners and the flow artists getting a hold of club spinning. Because when it was in the juggling world, those early conventions, all the jugglers club spinning, it had the traditional tricks and approach. But when fire spinners, when flow artists got a hold of club spinning, they brought with them innovation and research from the poi spinning world, from the staff spinning world. Something was blossoming and blooming at the time, not that many years ago in the big picture, called tech spinning, the Vulcan tech gospel, all these different methodologies and ways of thinking about spinning objects. Like, we don't have to stay in this locked window of what we've been doing for a long time. The poi spinners brought with them a zealous, artistic, and creative exploration. And that absolutely had a huge impact on the modern state of club spinning. They brought with them concepts such as anti-spinning, in this case, a horizontal linear anti-spin. They brought with them hybrids, or doing two different types of spin within one pattern. They brought with them flowers and a whole world of tech that had been thought out, figured out, and created. And they brought with them a lot of these fun, creative wavy mindsets. And like I said, these are creative, exploratory people. And so as such, they brought that creativity, that exploration to the world of club spinning. So again, it wasn't just the anti-spins or the hybrids or the flowers or the flower hybrids, and all of this stuff is extremely expansive, fun types of tricks to learn. Quick side note, look into the VTG, the Vulcan Tech Gospel. If you have anything above a bare minimum of interest in club spinning, if you are interested in club spinning, I couldn't recommend the Vulcan Tech Gospel enough. There's free resources online if you Google it. There's an app for your phone to help teach it to you. On this very call, we have some innovators of the VTG here with us now. So look up Vulcan Tech Gospel. All right. So we had the spinners, and it's not just the spinners. I see some comments in the chat, some European influence as well. But I'm coming from my perspective as a Western juggler who moved into the flow arts and spinning scene. And this is what I saw happen over the past 22 years that I've been doing this. It wasn't just those tricks, the hybrids, the anti-spins, also concepts like 3D. A lot of this stuff was all occurring on one plane or on one flat level, whether we're in the wheel plane or the wall plane. It was all on this flat level. And so with your modern tech spinning, we started to do atomics, where one's going out in front of you, but one is going on a whole different plane. 3D atomic theory comes from these spinners. So now we have traditional club swinging, spinning, reels, snakes, and we have modern club swinging with pedals and flowers and hybrids and anti-spins and hybrid anti-spins and a whole world of creativity and exploration that came with the flow artists and the fire dancers, and yes, some European jugglers as well, absolutely. That's sort of the present, you know. Obviously, the present includes a little bit of the future, a little bit of the past, but just breaking these up into these major categories can be helpful for our understanding of it. So now I'm going to step into the future of club spinning, and then I'll spend the last few minutes sharing some tricks. This is only a 30-minute presentation. So the future, the past, we call it traditional club spinning. The present, we call it modern club spinning. And the future, we call it postmodern club spinning. Postmodern club spinning. There are other names for the precipice, the verge of the creativity sphere that exists. You know, the next thing, the new. Call it what you want. In this workshop, I will be calling it postmodern spinning. And that includes several new ideas brought to the table, such as curves. Here is a static spin. I'm holding the club, it's static, lined up with my arm at all times. Okay? And now I'm going to create a curved spin, intentionally leading the spin with the knob. Notice the slight finger manipulations taking place in order for this curved spin to happen. A curved spin can take place on the wall plane. You can do curved spin figure eights. You can do curves on the horizontal plane. An interesting note, if you hold a club at 90 degrees from your arm and you move the arm in a circular motion, you create a natural curve. And that is one easy way to make curves. Create 90-degree relationships with your arm and then move your arms in circular patterns, just keeping the arm straight. You create a natural curve. You don't even really need to think about it. So along with these curves where we're pulling, some postmodern club spinning includes a lot of pushing. Previously, all this stuff is either static spin or pulling, and now we can also push, right? That means involves some form of curve, not just a curve, but postmodern spinning includes a lot of abstractions, waves, curves, traces, organic trails that wouldn't make any sensical logical sense, and yet they have value, and you'll see a lot of it manifest itself in modern creative juggling. And that, if you break it down, is looking at this idea of pushing a cap-led curve through space that you are in charge of, or pulling a knob-led curve through space. We can mix and match these ideas. This is a curve on the wall plane. It's instead of a big, large curve, we have a wave. A wave is multiple curves changing direction. A wave is multiple curves changing direction. So we can use two waves to create a curvy trail down. We can do the same on the side here. We can do things like a curved hybrid, where the club is traveling, for example, in a figure 8 curve. This is one I learned from Jonah. Hopefully I can still do it. Right now I'm doing a postmodern club swinging trick called a curve hybrid. One hand is doing a figure 8 curve, while the other hand is doing an extension. A little tougher than it first looks, but the idea, the concept is what's important here. The curves, pushing them, pulling them through space. You have these static curves that are nice and tight and static, you know, they're not moving. But you also have kind of a wobbly curve. You can experiment with that and allow a natural wobble of the club to occur and take place as you play with the curves. On the line of curves and waves, we also have helical spirals. I'll say it again, helical spirals. We have two clubs. They're going to travel not just on a wave path, but in a downward circle helical spiral, a la DNA strands. So the knob is leading a spiraling motion down. The body of the club and cap are following in that trail. Then we place those adjacent to each other, going in the same direction. And these, if you are a VTG aficionado, these helical curves have all 4 timing and directions, so you can enjoy that. I really like the look of those. They can be done horizontally, right, along a path, and you can push them. You can pull these helical curves, and you can push them. So we have the curves, the spiral, we got some floppy curves, we have pushing, twisting, body tracing, right? It's one thing to spin the club behind my head, ooh, and it's another to give it a path that it travels. And so we have body tracing. On that note, we have body accentuation, right? In traditional club swinging, we're standing and we're placing and we're exercising, and maybe you might get a little kick of the leg or a little bit of attitude. But when you really think about the movement that's possible in postmodern club swinging, you know, it blends elements of dance and surprise. And the movement has an emotive quality to it, and more character is starting to come to light in club swinging. Which leads me to also another postmodern idea is these quick darts and these zips, right? It's sort of, the eye doesn't expect it, and it can catch wonderful little moments of quickness and darting. Point the club somewhere, dart over to it, point it in another place, separate of what the other hand is doing, or both of them. These quick darting movements of a semi-static club used in a character-like fashion are absolutely part of postmodern club swinging. Then we have the abstractions and character personification. So that means actually trying to give the club or clubs a quality of personifying them, giving them human-like traits, like sad and lazy, or excited and jumpy, or smooth and cool and graceful. So postmodern club swinging includes adding these human qualities to the spin of the club. Also, in terms of the postmodern club swinging world, we have a blossoming realm of 3 club integration into spinning, as well as toss juggling 3, 4, even 5 club patterns that are utilizing some spinning theory into the club spinning. I'll give a quick example here I am doing some 2-club spinning with 2 clubs. Now I can take that idea and do the exact same pattern now with 3 clubs in my hand. Well, why do it if you already have the pattern with 2 clubs? Because I can break out of it and I can utilize club spinning with 3 clubs in my hand to then consciously move and transition into some juggling. So the future, the postmodern realm of club swinging involves club swinging patterns, both traditional, modern, and postmodern, with 3 or more clubs. And that's just holding them. Not to mention, I can't do it in here. The whole world of toss, juggling, spin tech integration, which is one of the most exciting realms, in my opinion. I will take a moment to take any questions that you might have. It's been hard to follow the chat. If you have any questions about a particular trick, about club spinning in general, type them in the chat. We'll give it a few moments. Take a moment to breathe. Okay. I get excited when I talk about clubs, and I will often forget to breathe. So thank you. Yes, that's the stuff. All right, well, I'll just give you a few more minutes of some of my thoughts about club spinning, and then we'll move on to the prize raffle. Again, this is an exercise. This is a fitness activity. This improves agility, focus, your sense of flow. Oh, we got a question. What have been your favorite helix patterns to play with? Great question. I absolutely love this following one. 2 clubs at the up high. We do the helical roll down. And then as we get to the bottom, we let those clubs, the body of the clubs drop to the bottom, and we helical club spin back up. Then we open up at the top, helical club down, open up, down, helical club up. Great question. Any tips for technique, how to hold the club while spinning? Great, I'll just spend a few moments on that. Absolutely. Club spinning is not one single grip. It is a dynamic exchange of multiple club spinning grips. People have different nomenclature, so I'll just give you the names I know and / was taught. You have the ring grip. Ring grip, getting its name from rings you might wear on your finger. There are more than one ring grip, right? The primary one is going to be there between the pointer and the middle finger. And it's a floppity, spinny, high-speed type of grip. You have the claw grip or the laser pointer grip, like you're holding a laser pointer for the class. This is more of a static grip for moving, tracing, pushing, and even transitioning, right? You have this claw / laser pointer grip. You also have a static grip, like actually holding the club straight out so it's not going to move very much. This is great for control. This is a great way to suddenly change direction, this static grip. And you have, sometimes called the ring grip, sometimes called the thumb grip. You have this thumb grip. It is technically a ring grip, but it's slightly different. This is good for on the side spinning, wheel plane action. And the thing to understand and the thing to practice, good question. Yes, it will be on the Club Motion archive. This is recording. We will put this on the website. Is to just transitions between the grips. Good club spinning involves a dynamic range of grip transitions throughout a wide series of movements, from ring grip to claw or pointer grip. Reverse grip is one I didn't mention. Reverse grip, a lot of the snakes occur in reverse grip. So we have the claw laser pointer, the ring grip, thumb ring grip, static grip, reverse grip. All of these are some of the primary grips that you'll be using. Some people even use a very distinct claw like that. I prefer my claw grip more like this, but I can see the reasons why people like this style. Again, as I wrap this up, you should look into the Vulcan Tech Gospel. It is a well thought out modern breakdown of spinning theory, modern spinning theory and tech. And it can absolutely change your life and influence you in tremendous, tremendous ways. See the light, see the truth. But even if you never look up the Vulcan Tech Gospel, I encourage you to do some club spinning before you start juggling. In exercise, you stretch, you warm up, and then you wind down. club spinning, club swinging is an excellent way to warm up and warm down from your club spinning practice. All right, I'm wrapping this up, stopping the recording. I thank you all so much. This workshop will be available probably by the end of the day, but maybe tomorrow on clubmotionjuggling.com.